raise your right hand so we can swear you in.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And we're going to start with cause number 68, the state of Charles Marvin Sandifer.
Thank you.
Morning, Ms. Poland.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, my name is Bryn Poland. Charles Marvin Sandifer died on April 19th, 2023 in Baytown, Harris County, Texas at the age of 80. 4 years have not elapsed since his death. Decedent was domiciled and had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County on the date of his death. To the best of my knowledge, decedent died testate and his will was signed on August 13, 2017. The decedent and the subscribing witnesses signed the self-proving affidavit on November 14th, 2017. A necessity exists for this administration of this estate. The decedent's will was self-proved. To the best of my knowledge, the will filed for probate was never revoked by Charles Marvin Sandifer. No state governmental agency or charitable organization is named in the will as a devisee. After the date of the will, no child was born to or adopted by the decedent, and the decedent did not have a marriage that was dissolved after the date of the will. The decedent's will names Juvencia Alice Wida Sandifer and Lisa Ann Sandifer Corey to serve as co-independent executors and to act independently. And to the best of my knowledge, Juvencia Alice Wida Sandifer and Lisa Ann Sandifer Corey have not been convicted of a felony and are not otherwise disqualified from receiving letters testamentary or from serving as co-executors. We do ask that appraisers are waived, Your Honor.
Okay. Hereby admit the will of probate and authorize letters. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, cause number 72, the state of Elise Marie Reynolds. Ms. Cobb, good morning.
Good morning.
And you may proceed.
My name is Susan Cobb. I'm the attorney for the estate of Elsie Marie Reynolds. She died on November 15th, 2020, and she was 66 years old. 4 years have not elapsed since the date of her death. This court has jurisdiction and venue over the estate. She resided in Mont Belvieu, Chambers County, Texas. She was not divorced. After the will was executed, no children were born or adopted after the execution. Notice has been given. Every required citation has been served and returned in the manner and for the period of time required by law. At the time of the execution of the will, Marie was at least 18 years of age, sound mind. She didn't revoke this will at any time. There's no contest to the will. Her husband, Bob Elvin Reynolds, was named as independent executor. He is qualified and not disqualified, has not been convicted of a felony, and he is willing to serve. A necessity does exist for this administration. No interested person is applied to the court for any appointment of an appraiser, and we're asking that no appraisers be ordered and that no bond be required. There's no state governmental agency or charitable organization named as a devisee in this will. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. Everybody admit the will of probate and authorize letters. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you. May I be excused?
You may be.
Thank you.
Cause number 73, the state of Judy Blanche McNulty Hall. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
You may proceed, Ms. Clapper.
All right, thank you. Bobby, is your name Robert Loring Hall Jr.?
Yes, it is.
And are you the husband of Judy Blanche McNulty Hall,
Yes, I am.
named in her will as the independent administrator of the estate?
I am. Yes.
And did Judy reside in Chambers County, Texas for more than 50 years or so
Yes.
before her death?
Yes.
And she had a home and property and there's a necessity to admit the will to probate, correct?
Yes,
She died on August 3rd of 2023,
yes.
and of course, 4 years have not lapsed since the date of her death. I'm going to show you a copy of the will that you're asking to be admitted by the court into probate. Or do you recognize Judy's signature on that will?
Certainly do.
And the will was signed on what day?
July the 8th, 2020.
And it was witnessed by two witnesses, Robert Clapper and Lonnie Hassan, here in Anahuac, Texas, in my law office, correct?
That's correct.
And after the execution of the will in 2020, at any time did Judy tell you that she wanted to revoke, cancel, or change her will?
No, she did not want to.
And you've read the will.
Yes,
Does the will include any charity or other governmental agency as a beneficiary in the will?
no,
In fact, you are the sole beneficiary in the will.
that's correct.
And as independent administrator, are you willing to accept the responsibilities to probate and handle the estate in accordance with Judy's directives?
I am.
And you're not disqualified by law for any reason from taking the oath of office?
I am not.
Judge, I think we've pretty well covered everything that needs to be covered.
You didn't ask him if he was of good moral character. I know him pretty well.
I do too.
All right, Judge. So let me get started on you.
Everybody admits the will. No, Bobby, keep that down. Or I want to admit this will to probate. Will's hereby admitted to probate and authorized letters. You guys have a good day. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, last but not least, G90, the matter of LaMacia Devon Daniels.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing great. Thanks for asking.
I guess Miss Clapper has to. Miss Clapper's on this, isn't she?
No, Your Honor, that would be me.
Oh,
Was
okay.
previously, Judge, and she's going to assume this with everyone's agreement that that she go forward.
All right. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I call Mr. David Coates.
Yes,
Mr. Coates, please state your full name for the court.
David Anthony Ray Coates.
What is your relationship with the ward LaMacia Devon Daniels?
He's my first cousin.
Is it your testimony that LaMacia lives in Chambers County?
Yes,
Has LaMacia lived in Chambers County most of his life?
yes,
Isn't it true that on April 25th, 1988, a trust was created for the sole benefit of LaMacia D. Daniels, a minor and incapacitated person, by order of the 151st Judicial District Court of Harris County, Texas?
yes,
Isn't it true that also on April 25th, 1988, by the same court order, a corporate trustee was appointed to administer LaMacia's trust?
yes,
Isn't it true that the corporate trustee appointed was Providence Trust, later known as Southwest Guarantee Court Trust, later as Encore Trust, and now known as Cadence Bank?
yes,
Isn't it true that Cadence Bank and its predecessors have administered the LaMacia D. Daniels Trust for the last 35 years?
yes,
Isn't it true that LaMacia's only sibling, his brother Broderick Daniels, passed away on October 5th, 1999?
yes,
Isn't it true that LaMacia's father, Booker T. Daniels, died on November 11th, 2000?
yes,
Isn't it true that LaMacia's mother, Sandra D. Daniels, suddenly passed away on May 4th, 2023?
yes,
Isn't it true that Miss Sandra Daniels was appointed by this court as guardian of person and guardian of estate for LaMacia on March 20th, 2012?
yes,
Isn't it true that LaMacia's mother named you as successor guardian for LaMacia in her will dated May 10th, 2020?
yes,
Did LaMacia's mother have assets?
no,
Isn't it true that you used to babysit LaMacia to relieve his mother from his care?
yes.
About how long have you been caring for LaMacia at different times?
I would say well over 25 years.
And for the record, what is your age, sir?
I'm 40.
Are you currently employed?
I am not.
Isn't it true that you quit your job in Oregon to come care for LaMacia?
Yes,
Are you also working for an organization that pays you to care for Lamacia?
No,
So you're not compensated for Lamacia's care, but you still care for him, right?
that is correct.
Are there other persons from an organization who help you daily with Lamacia's care?
No,
Isn't it true that Lamacia's doctor, Stephanie Schwartz, met with him on June 20th of 2023?
yes,
Isn't it true that Lamacia's doctor provided a letter stating that his incapacity has no expectation of improvement and that he requires 24-hour supervision and care?
yes,
Your Honor, I move that this court takes judicial notice of Lamacia Devon Daniels, PCME.
So done. Yes, ma'am. Court takes notice.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Coates, is it your testimony that Lamacia is mentally and physically disabled?
yes,
In addition, isn't it true that the right side of Lamacia's body has paralysis, causing him to limp and have limited use of his right hand?
yes,
Isn't it true that Lamacia has a history of seizures?
yes,
Isn't it true that on a Thursday, August 10th, 2023, you took Lamacia to an appointment with his neurologist to the office of Dr. Richard Pardo, who was to follow up if Lamacia's seizure medication was working as intended?
yes,
And isn't it true that Lamacia recently suffered seizures and his neurologist refused to see him without a guardian at that appointment?
yes,
Isn't it true that Lamacia was not able to get a prescription refill?
yes,
Isn't it true that on Monday, August 14th, 2023, Lamacia had a medical appointment with his primary care physician, Dr. Ben Bowie, and that Lamacia's certified case manager, Lucy Torres, accompanied you to the appointment to try to convince Dr. Bowie to see Lamacia without a guardian?
yes,
Isn't it true that Dr. Bowie refused to see Lamacia and provided a letter stating that Lamacia needs guardianship for the purpose of getting his medical needs and care?
yes,
Isn't it true that isn't it true that there is imminent danger that the physical health and well-being of Lamacia will be further physically and mentally impaired without the appointment of a temporary successor guardian of his person?
yes,
Is Lamacia able to make medical decisions on his own?
no,
Is Lamacia able to communicate with his doctors?
no.
What did the doctors say they would do if Lamacia does not have a guardian?
They wouldn't be able to see him.
Is Lamacia able to manage finances of his own?
No,
Does Lamacia own any property outside the trust?
no.
Does Lamacia receive government assistance?
He gets Social Security.
What kind of things do you help Lamacia with every day, sir?
Daily needs, eating breakfast, taking his medication, taking him places, his sanitary requirements, getting him dressed, pretty much anything that he needs to do, I assist him with.
And are you aware that if you are appointed Lamacia's successor guardian of person, it will be your responsibility to take care of him?
Yes,
Are you aware that if the guardianship no longer exists, you have a duty to inform the court?
yes,
Can Lamacia read and write?
no,
At this point, can Lamacia understand and sign documents giving you power of attorney?
no, he cannot.
Are you qualified to serve as Lamacia's successor guardian of person?
Yes,
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
no,
Is there anything that would disqualify you from serving as guardian of person?
no,
Are you asking the court to appoint you as Lamacia's temporary successor guardian of person so you are able to seek and secure Lamacia's medical needs and care now?
yes, I am.
If you are appointed temporary successor guardian of person, will you be able to request supplemental help from Lamacia's trust for care not covered by government programs that Lamacia is currently receiving because of his disabilities?
Yes,
Are you aware that Lamacia's trust is considered small and will not be enough to cover for his lifetime?
yes,
Are you asking the court to set a minimum bond for you?
yes,
Are you asking the court that you be allowed to post a bond as a deposit into the registry of the court of cash in lieu of a corporate bond?
yes,
That's all I have, Your Honor. And I ask that this court appoints Mr. David Anthony Coates as temporary successor guardian of the person of his first cousin, Lamacia Devon Daniel.
Thank you, Counselor. Ms. Nelson.
Mr. Coates, can I assume that it's your intention that after this temporary guardianship lapses, that you'll be seeking permanent guardianship?
Yes, ma'am.
And your application is for guardianship of the person only at this point,
Yes, ma'am.
and likely will only be for the person in the future?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No other questions for this witness, Your Honor?
All right, Ms. Stevens, any other witnesses?
I'm
Ms.
sorry.
Stevens, you hear me?
Now I do. I'm sorry. What was, I could
I
not hear the
said-
last thing.
I said, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, thank you. No
Okay.
other witnesses.
Ms. Nelson?
Your Honor, I just want to let the court know that I have met with my client. I met with Mr. Coates. I have reviewed the filings. I also concur that Lamasio Devin Daniels is incapacitated. He does appear to be well cared for and pleasant at this time. I agree that he did not need to be present at this hearing and did not believe that to be in his best interest, and he did not want to appear. I believe Mr. Coates is a suitable person to be appointed as guardian and is not disqualified. And again, alternatives do not appear to be possible in this particular case. I concur with the request for the bond as stated in his testimony. And otherwise, I have followed everything I would need to do to concur. I have not made any application for fees at this time. I presume I'll do that under the application for the permanent, which I believe will be coming fairly soon.
Okay, anything else, Ms. Stevens?
No, thank you, Your Honor. This is all I have.
Okay, hereby appoint the temporary successor guardian of the person of Lamasio Devon Daniels and require a $50 cash bond.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have
Your
a
Honor.
good day. All right, calls number 70, the state of Rexford Lynn Moffitt. Good morning, Mr. Cotton.
Good morning, Judge.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. My name is Weston Cotton, and Rexford Lynn Moffitt died March 19th, 2023 in Chambers County, Texas at the age of 72 years. 4 years have not elapsed since his death. He had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County at the time of his death, and he died testate, and I'm looking at the will that was signed March 17th, 2023, which was self-proved, and it has never been revoked so far as I know. The decedent did not apply for nor receive Medicaid benefits on or after March the 1st, 2005. There is a necessity for administration of the estate. The will is self-proven. There is no state, governmental agency, or charitable organization named in the will as a devisee. After the date of the will, there were no child or children born to or adopted by him, and no marriage was dissolved after the date the will was made. The decedent's will named Deborah Lee Moffitt to serve as the independent executor. She is qualified and not disqualified. Judge would ask that she be appointed as the independent executor. We ask that the appraisers be waived, as this is a small estate, non-taxable.
So done. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge. You had me scared there for a minute when you said last but not least, and it wasn't me.
We got it straight. So
Thank you, sir.
Melinda took care of you.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a